up, For Life gang? Gang?
Oh my God.
It's Amber.
What's up, y'all? It's Philip.
Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Now, do it.
Yeah.
Come back. Give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment below after you watch it and give us your feedback.
Yeah. Feel like our new little setup?
We do have a new little setup. We tried something different.
Yeah, something just a little different.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll see how it goes.
But we're talking about boundaries today.
Boundaries. Ooh.
And setting those boundaries in your relationship.
Yes. And really more importantly in your marriage.
Yes.
It's a slow transition.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess we're getting into it.
Let's just do it.
It's a slow transition. So first, let's start off talking about like, what do we mean by boundaries? When we say setting boundaries, what are you doing?
All right, so setting those boundaries, the definition of that to us is letting people know, family, friends, whomever, what is okay and what is not okay when it comes to the respect in the relationship that you have with your spouse.
Right. And I'm glad that you said actually respecting the relationship because that's what it boils down to, respecting the relationship. And you do have to show the people in your circle, you know, what's okay and what's not okay. Because when you start dating somebody, the relationship automatically changes. So you're adjusting as a person, as a single person, as an individual to now being a couple. So there are slow changes that happen. When you start getting closer, there are more changes that happen. Now you're engaged. You got even more changes. And now we're married. Like we need to have those boundaries set, and whatever else wasn't set needs to go ahead and finish and get set.
Yeah, because if you don't do it in the beginning, it's extremely difficult to do it on the back end.
Right. And
going back and backtracking and now trying to set boundaries. And now people are confused. And now they're like, you know, what are you doing? Like, this is not what I'm used to type thing. So it's a lot easier when you do it in the beginning.
So let's talk about first how you do that in the beginning. How do we set those healthy boundaries in the beginning of our relationship, in the beginning of our marriage, so we don't have to backtrack? And then we're going to talk about what happens when you fumble a little bit and don't set those boundaries.
Yeah, because that was me.
Right. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about like how you actually set those boundaries. And one thing that we kind of just really realized between me and Philip is our personalities are so different in areas that really matter a lot. I'm a really big proactive person, and Philip is a reactive person.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not trying to be, but that's just me.
And you know, I'll be honest, boo, you have improved so much just since we've been married these past almost 8 years. Yeah. Like
it's been night and day since year 1 and year 8.
100%, 100%. And even with me being proactive, sometimes I jump the gun too much.
Yeah. But that's why we balance in a lot of ways. But continue.
And it's the truth. It is why we balance so much.
Yeah.
But in the situation when you're setting boundaries, I would say it's a little better to be more proactive. So you can really stop a lot of situations before they come. I'll give one example. Like me and one of my friend girls, we always joked about like dudes from our past and, you know, guys from high school and stuff like that. Well, when me and Philip started dating and he started coming around her and stuff, we didn't joke about those things when he was around. And so then when we actually got married, we didn't joke about those things at all.
Yeah, because they're no longer funny.
Right. They're not funny anymore and they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
So in that case, that wasn't even necessarily something that I had to outright say, all right, chill, we ain't talking about that no more. It was just more of, honestly, she respected our relationship enough to be like, okay, I probably don't need to talk about this anymore. Like that's really in the past. But that's a boundary that was set. Now, what's so great about that is that's a boundary that she was able to see and that she was able to set. Yeah. It's not always like that.
No, it's
sometimes you have to correct people and let them know, hey, that's not okay. What I really think about, you remember the movie, what was the movie with Terrence J was in and our girl from Blackish, the mom? She was Terrence J mom.
Talking about Rainbow?
No.
Oh no, you talking about Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis. Okay, Jennifer Lewis was the mom. You know, Terrence J was this mama's boy, but he was getting engaged.
Dang, I forgot the name of that movie.
He was engaged. Was it a Tyler Perry movie?
I don't think
or was it? No. It was Kevin Hart was in it, wasn't
he? Yeah, because I think they had a scene of
Steve Harvey
being on the
think like a lady, act like a man. But this man been number 2.
Oh, okay, well, yeah.
It was number 1 or number 2. I think that was the movie. But anywho, Terrence J was getting married, and I can't even remember who he was getting married to now.
Yeah.
If y'all remember, comment in the comment and let us know. I know you know what movie we talking about.
Yeah, this is an old movie.
But what I think about is that because for so long, Regina Hall, I think, was the woman.
Could have been.
But for so long, his mom was really not respecting. She was disrespecting their relationship. And Terrence J was such a mama's boy that he was letting it happen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that he didn't see it. It was just he felt like he was kind of caught in between my mom and my fiance, and he didn't really know what to do until it got to the point to where it started affecting his almost marriage.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I got to put my foot down and I got to set these boundaries. So anytime we talk about boundaries, that's naturally what I think about because it's such a good example of if you don't fix it, you're going to be forced to fix it.
Yeah. And when you're forced to fix it, that's when, you know, you're going to have to be a lot more direct.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be a lot more abrupt.
Right.
And you're going to have to hurt some feelings.
Right.
You know, you don't care about that. I do.
I don't. And it's not even that I'm a mean person. I care about boundaries.
Yeah.
I care about things happening the right way. And so
you really value clarity.
I do so much. So in order for things to happen the right way and for everybody to be on the same page, if your feelings have to be hurt, they just have to be hurt. If we have to have a tough conversation, we just have to have a tough conversation. But for me, also, that's why I'm so proactive. I try to get to a point to where we don't have to, it doesn't have to escalate as much.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it does, and you know, it just be what it is. But try not to let those things happen.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a part of setting those healthy boundaries. So it doesn't matter if it's, you know, a friend, your sibling, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad. When you are getting married, when you are in that committed relationship, they need to respect your relationship.
Absolutely.
And if they aren't respecting your relationship, for one, I'm going to be honest, you need to look at yourself. What about me are they not respecting to not respect my relationship? Because that's kind of how I take it. Yeah. And that could be me, you know,
you do
taking it personal.
Yeah, you do take things rather personal because you can see it that way. You know, what is it about me? Do you not think that I'm mature enough to have this relationship? Right. Do you think that I'm not ready to have this relationship because of what you know about me? But you also have to look at it internally as well. And you have to look at yourself and say, all right, I am ready to have this relationship with my spouse. I am ready to get married. And I don't really care about whether other people, how they view this. Like, I need to protect my spouse because that's what I'm supposed to do as a man. And number 2, I have to lay down with this woman at night.
Right.
So I need to make sure that she's happy because it is happy wife, happy life. Now, you know, if she's not happy, then there's a lot of things in our marriage that doesn't work.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you protect your woman at all costs by any means necessary.
Right. And it's vice versa. It's not just happy wife, happy life. The reason that the life is happy is because you're making your wife happy. So she's in turn making you happy.
Absolutely.
She's doing the things that she needs to do because you're doing the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is.
It's a cycle.
It really is. And it's a circle. Like, you have to do your part in order for the rest of it to work.
Yeah. If you wake up every day making sure that each other needs are met, then everyone is happy.
And that starts at the beginning of setting those boundaries. Like, for us, when we did couples counseling before we got married, I remember our pastor, like, before we even got in the room to sit down, like, it was pressing to him. And he was like, look, y'all need to protect one another. Yeah, you know? And he turned and looked at Philip and he was like, you need to protect her. And it was so pressing to him to let Philip know, dude, you need to protect this woman by any means.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a little foreshadowing, like he knew, you know, a little bit of your family dynamics and things like that. So he knew, like, no, some shit about to pop off. You need to protect her. Because I didn't understand, like, the severity of his, like, I didn't know what he meant.
I didn't know either.
But I understood that he meant something for real by it.
Yeah, and I just took it surface level because, I mean, you know, you hear that a lot, you know, as the man, you need to be the protector and the provider. So I just thought that he was supposed to say stuff like that.
Right.
But there was some meaning behind it.
Right.
Like, he saw some things that we didn't see.
Right. Because protecting...
But just from knowing our family dynamic and also being a man that was married at the time for 20 years as well. Right. So he was speaking from experience.
Right. Because protecting your wife is not just about protecting her physically. You need to be able to protect her emotionally, protect her mentally, and you need to be able to set those boundaries to protect her, period. Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of talked a little bit about, like, I guess why it's so important to set those boundaries in the beginning. And I think we touched a little bit on, like, how you set those boundaries. Basically, you know, you need to be able to look ahead and stop some things before they happen. And then if things are happening, you need to be able to correct it in the moment or quickly afterwards. And then you need to be having those hard conversations with people to make sure that your relationship is being respected, that your partner is being respected.
Yeah, it's very important to do that.
So that's how you do it in the beginning. Now what happens when you don't set those boundaries and you let things slide? And a lot of times it is just you let small things slide here and there, but they add up so quickly.
Yeah, and it's really easy to do when you let things slide because of who it comes from. So, you know, when the little slick stuff comes from, you know, from people that you love, you're like, you know, well, they didn't mean it that way.
Right,
you know
that's a good point.
It's all good. Right. But it's important to, you know, take that and be like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I probably need to address that. Right. Because something that small is setting those boundaries, whether you know it or not.
Exactly.
So you got to address that on top.
You're either actively setting the boundaries or you're passively setting the boundaries. Yeah. Either way, they're being set. It's just whether or not you're in control of how they're being set. But that's a really good point, Boo, that sometimes you don't look at things deep because of where it's coming from.
Absolutely.
And because here's the thing too, and this is just being honest, like a lot of times when family and friends like do slick things and may kind of disrespect your relationships, a lot of the times it's not coming from a malicious place. Yeah. And so we do kind of brush over it and move past it. Now, there are times, I'd say 50-50, there are times where it is coming from a malicious place as well. Yeah. And we just have to be realistic, even if that means mama, daddy, brother, sister, uncle, you know, showing out. Yeah. You just have to be realistic and you have to check it. Because here's the thing. I just thought about this. Sometimes I just think of some stuff. Yeah. If you are not strong enough to correct your mom, your father, your aunt, your brother, your whomever, you're not ready to get married. You can't protect me. Yeah. If you're not strong enough to correct someone so close to you, how can you protect me?
That's true.
And you know, we can say that now because we've learned from that, but that's something to think about. If I can't stand up to my mom, if I can't stand up to my dad, to my grandpa, my whomever, what am I do with this woman or this man over here? Yeah. How are we going to build a family if I can't even stand up to somebody for the sake of us?
Right.
Y'all better think about it. You better think about it.
Those are some things to think about, for real.
That is something to think about. And I think that's a really good way to look at it. But go ahead, Boo. So when you don't do those things.
Right. No, but that was good, though. Yeah. But when you don't do those things, it's just a lot harder to go back and now try to put these little fires out that have started because you let them pass because of who it was from. So when you keep your guard up and you think about, you know, where these things are coming from, then you are better equipped to go ahead and address them right then and there when they happen.
Right.
Because when you don't, little fires grow into big fires.
They really do. And also, when you're letting things pass because of who they're coming from, what you're also doing is neglecting who is coming towards.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
But seriously, like when you are neglecting, when you're brushing over, oh, my auntie, my grandma, she didn't mean it. You're also neglecting, she didn't mean it, but she said it towards my man.
Yeah.
She said it towards my wife. Like,
Yeah.
so it's still like you're still picking. You're setting those boundaries either way it go. Is it more important to let what somebody close to me say it go? Or is it more important to protect who they said it to?
Yeah. Now, we're not saying, cuss them out or nothing like
Right.
that. But at least say, hey, you got to chill on that.
But here's also something too. You can correct somebody without cursing them out. You can correct somebody without raising your voice.
Yeah.
I correct people all the time. I don't curse people out all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I have cursed people out before, and I can and don't mind. But I don't go around cursing people out all the time. But I will correct you if you need to be corrected.
Yeah. It's definitely ways to to bring it up to their attention and say, hey, no, that's not okay.
Right.
We need to have a conversation about this because I can't let you do that.
Right.
Now.
Or even bringing it to their attention. They may not even realize that they've done something, that was disrespectful. You even just bringing it to their attention like, hey, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I kind of took it this way.
Yeah.
That'll
work.
Is that how you meant it?
Yeah. Because sometimes they may not have known.
Right. But the thing is, if you don't ever say anything about it, it builds up and it builds up. So the first couple times, they didn't mean anything by it. But now we at time 3 or 4, and it's kind of like, at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I know you meant something by it.
Right.
But the reason why I got to, time 3 or 4 is because you let it slide.
Right.
All those times.
So when we're now to where all these little fires are spreading, and now we have this big forest fire, how are we able to put that out and kind of backtrack and set those boundaries or redefine the boundaries that were already set?
Now that you're having to go back, you have to address everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let anything slide.
Right.
Whether it's little or big, whether it's from your mom or dad or from your little brother, your little sister, or your homeboy.
Right. So now you gotta bring up that one time you said
it don't matter
that
who
one
it
cool
is.
And that added to,
Yeah,
I agree.
You have to let them know, hey man, that's no longer cool.
Right.
Now they gonna look at you like, but this was just cool the time before.
Right.
But now it's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not cool.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you respect our relationship, then you will respect this relationship.
Right. And to me, that's just what it boils down to. If you respect our relationship that we have, you're going to have to respect the relationship I have in my marriage.
Yeah.
And I think that if you go into it with that mindset, it'll help you set those boundaries. But also when you get to the point to where if you didn't set those boundaries and now you need to go redefine, if you still go into it with that mindset, I think it'll be clearer for you to see so you can know how to move with each person as you're redefining those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's some really good stuff, man.
Yeah. I mean, so basically the moral of the story is set the boundaries beforehand.
It's a lot easier when you do it in the beginning than trying to backtrack and doing it years later or after the fact.
And we're saying that from personal experience and not just like we've been there. We've been to the point to where some boundaries weren't set and we had to go back and try and fix them. And it was a long journey, and some of those aren't even all the way back redefined because it was those little fires.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we are definitely speaking from experience.
Right.
Like, I fumbled big time. And if our relationship wasn't solid from the beginning with our friendship that we had leading into our marriage and that we still have to this day.
Right.
Like it was designed to break us.
It definitely was.
And it could have destroyed us.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't have made it past like year 2.
For real.
But God. Yeah, but God, I'm telling you.
We're running into year 8.
Rock, come on, somebody.
Yeah, man.
Woo.
So, yeah.
You need those boundaries. Like, I don't even think there's really anything else to say about it. Like, that's something that you need to be very conscious about. And if you're already to a point to where like you haven't set those boundaries, you need to go back and redefine them like ASAP. It's important. Yeah. And then also you need to think about how your spouse has felt by you not, setting those boundaries and defining those relationships with other people. Because then that may be a reason for friction in your marriage.
Yeah. And be patient with your spouse as well during that time, if that's the case, because Amber was really patient with me in the beginning. Like, she could have been like, you know what? You're not protecting me, so I'm out.
And it literally could have been that way.
It could have been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But she stuck with it. She stuck, with me through it. She taught me a lot of things, and we had perseverance together to where we were able to move forward and learn from that.
And it made us so much stronger together. But I think that I know a big part for me, because it was a lot in those first couple years where I was like, this is not what I signed up for. And it wasn't Philip. It was literally just the lack of boundaries that were set. Yeah. But what I had to realize was I married Philip. I didn't marry his family and friends. Mm-hmm. So I can't let his family and friends be the reason that we don't work.
Right.
And so after I had that come to Jesus moment with me, I had to have a come to Jesus with him. Hey, this is what's happening.
You get your stuff together.
I'm right. I'm not liking what's happening. Yeah. And since you're not able to fix what's happening, I'm going to just fix it for myself.
Yeah.
But I think even with that, when you're saying be patient, like, you still have to have that level of communication. Mm-hmm. Like, I was able to clearly communicate to you what my issue was, and I was also able to see at the time, like, Philip is not able to give me this right now.
And that was hard to hear.
I bet it was.
That was really hard to hear, that, your woman coming to tell you that you're not doing your job as a man. You're not protecting me. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm supposed to do. Like, oh man, like, I really need to get my stuff together.
Right.
Because I can't have my woman feeling like when she walks outside this home that I can't protect her.
Right.
Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
At all.
And that's how big it can turn into if you don't even do something as simple as setting those boundaries. Right. It can literally turn to, wait, I'm not protecting my woman?
Yeah.
I'm like...
yeah.
So, yeah. That's like, I would even say that's one of like the big building blocks like of a relationship is knowing those boundaries and setting those boundaries.
For sure.
So yeah. Questions?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Question number 1. Mm-hmm. If you had 24 hours to live, what would you do?
Cry.
This is for my boy DMX and Black Rob. They passed these past couple months, but they had a song called 24 Hours to Live.
Okay.
This is where this comes from.
After I cried.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. I don't, you know what? You keep bringing up these death questions and I don't understand it.
I'm sorry, bro.
Okay. Outside of crying, if I had 24 hours to live, I honestly would be just spending time with you and the kids. My mom, my sister, my brother, like my brothers, my sisters. Like, I would just be spending time with my family. Mm-hmm. You and the kids more than anything. Like, that's heavy, boo.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get that one first.
Oh, okay. Go to, you answer.
Yeah, well, I would say the same.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, boo. But I knew your answer anyway, because I would say the same thing.
Okay.
Moving on. Number 2. Do you prefer breakfast in bed or a candlelit dinner? Mm-hmm. Mother's Day coming up, so.
Both.
Choose wisely.
I want both.
Oh, man.
I want both.
Now you ready, yo. I want both.
Okay. I would probably say they both sweet. I think a candlelit dinner is more romantic, but breakfast in bed is super thoughtful and super sweet. And I get a mimosa. I'm going to choose a candlelit dinner because I get breakfast in bed often enough.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose a candlelit dinner.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
You know I would say breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day.
Yeah.
I could have breakfast anytime. Okay, number 3. Which one of your 5 senses do you need the least?
Okay, we got smell, we got sight, we got hearing, we got touch, and we got taste.
Yep.
Which one do I need the least? I'm trying to try them out real quick.
Oh, man. You are silly. This is easy for me.
I need taste.
All right.
I need sight.
All right.
I feel like I could kind of do without smelling, but then what if it's a fire and I can't smell it and then I die? Oof. Oh, okay. Touch.
You can feel the heat, though.
Yeah, by the time I feel the heat, it's gonna be too late. Okay, I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between smell and touch. It's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up.
Between smell and touch. Let me see. Smell
Which
and touch.
one?
Smell and touch.
Which one you got?
I'm gonna say smell.
Me too.
Yeah.
Smell is mine.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to think.
Even though now in this COVID time, I ain't gonna lie, if I wake up a little stuffy, I start sniffing just to make sure I can still smell. Just gotta make sure I'm not losing it.
Right. All right, number 4. Since you're not good at either one of these, okay, would you rather be an amazing singer or an incredible dancer?
You a hater.
I mean, I'm just saying.
First off, the vocals are it.
No, they're
I can
trash.
sing. I
No.
can sing.
She can't carry a tune in a bucket.
But I'd rather be an amazing dancer.
Oh my
Did you know I was gonna say that?
Yes. I knew you were gonna say
Yeah,
that.
I be trying to dance. I be trying to practice.
Y'all should see. You know what? Never mind.
Right, because don't tell my business.
Never mind.
What about you? Since you
Singer. Mm-hmm. Got me feel songs.
Boy.
All right, last but not least, what musical instrument do you wish you could play?
The piano.
Me
I've
too.
always wanted to play the
Me
piano.
I really wish I could play the piano.
Our kids gonna play the piano.
Yeah.
If they want to. We're gonna at least let them experience it.
Yeah. I really want to be.
I took a piano class in college one time and I really enjoyed it.
I know, you did. You had that little keyboard in your apartment?
I did. That was it.
Could you do like the pedal and everything too? Or just the...
I ain't got to the pedal.
Oh, okay. You didn't know how to play the
I was
piano,
just
then.
here.
It was just keyboard.
No, the piano, I thought that's the organ with the pedal.
No, you have a pedal too in piano.
Well, learn something new.
But that's all my questions.
Okay, well, that's all we have for y'all. Let us know what you think about boundaries. Have y'all set boundaries? Have y'all sucked at boundaries? Did y'all fumble like somebody did? Let us know in the comments. As always, guys, we really appreciate you for tuning in. We appreciate all the love, the support, all of that good stuff. Until next time, be breezy.
Peace.